The first 5 minutes is just getting into the technique. It's a 5-minute warm-up, getting into the technique, and then the breath breathes you.
And then while you're doing this, I'm assuming, are you guiding your
Yes, it's
people?
fully guided.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So you start after doing this, are you trying to maybe get them to think about other stuff, what comes up in the body or
Yes.
mind?
Yes. So yes, going back to the concept of mind-body connection, this breath work will definitely tap into that. What happens in breath work is that your defenses will drop while you go into breath work. And it also creates altered states of consciousness. It's said that you can release DMT, which is the birthing and death hormone. Or it can also bring you either into a sympathetic or a parasympathetic state, depending on how you go into the breath work and what school of thought you are trained in and you learn about and you want to follow when it comes to breath work. But what it does is you're going to get high doses of oxygen in your system, which means however you've been constricting in a sympathetic state or in a trauma-induced state, it's going to make that a lot more aware where you're carrying it in your body. Most of us carry it in our chest, in our jaw, in our shoulders, in our hands. And then it's going to start kind of opening it up. And what that also does is it kind of opens you up to all of those parts that you've compartmentalized within yourself, all of those traumas that you've kind of put in your subconscious, swept under the rug, tried to hold in place with.
So they report this. So I'm sorry that I interrupted you.
No, please.
So because it's fascinating for me. So as you're doing this with your audience, with your group, you ask them to report back to you if they feel something.
Nope.
So how would they utilize it? How would they report back to you so you can guide them through this?
Well, I'm watching them so I can see if they're going through any kind of distress, and I'm also guiding them. What happens is you will definitely tap into trauma. It is
That's
the
given.
whole. Yeah, there's no question about it. The whole purpose is to help it surface, because we don't know what to do with the trauma. That's why we compartmentalize it. That's why we put it in the subconscious. It's a way to cope with it rather than resolve it.
Exactly.
Right? And so this is bringing resolution. It is inducing a resurfacing of the trauma with the actual tools to resolve it. And the tools include the actual breath itself. That is the medicine, the oxygen that's flowing through your body, giving you a vibrational, energetic state, changing the conditions of your body and the stress hormones to the relaxation hormones, as well as the release work that you actually do, which is release through movement and release through sound, called toning.
So what I'm hearing is that the whole approach is unconscious and subconscious level.
Yes.
We are not bringing it to the conscious level.
It will surface to the conscious because people will have visions or like uncomfortable memories come up, and I will actually guide and induce that through the process. So first is the 5-minute warm-up is just to get into the breath. Then we're going to bring in the person, situation, or thing that keeps you up at night, or the trauma that you haven't been able to walk away from, and literally physically release it with your breath, with sound, and with movement.
And you're guiding them through
I'm
this.
guiding them. Yep.
So then there is a kind of formal guided.
Very much so.
Okay.
It's fully guided.
Oh, great. Because
Fully
I
guided.
thought, maybe for a second I was confused. I thought that you allow the person to immerse himself or herself deep into that trauma and not knowing what to do with it.
No, it's fully guided.
Oh,
So the immersion is through the breath, because your defenses are kind of melted away, and then I guide how to release it, when to release it, what to do with it. And then after that, then we go into the internalized negative self-concepts on, self-judgment, guilt, and shame, and resentment, and remorse, those spirals that we're all plagued with, or not feeling good enough, and releasing some of that. And then we reprogram it. We end it with self-love, self-acceptance, self-worth, ease, safety, comfort, authenticity. And it's just kind of chanting style to like reprogram into a different mindset. And that goes back to what I mentioned earlier, which is identity. So what we're really doing is we're releasing the trauma identity through breath, through sound, through movement, and then reprogramming to a new identity of authenticity, safety, worthiness, love, connection.
May I ask a tough question?
Go for it.
Because I think you're the right person. I wouldn't ask anybody else but you about this, because at the same time, despite the fact that these are great, but there are some possible pitfalls there. Let's say there is a reason that we have a superego and we have ego and we have the drive, right? And superego, obviously, I'm speaking the language of psychodynamic, is our value system, our morality. Sometimes I agree with you. A lot of times we've been exposed to bad parenting, bad environment, trauma. We did not deserve it. But there are times, and I'm sure you've seen it, there are certain people that genuinely have done something wrong. And their own conscious knows about it. And the only thing that is stopping this person from doing it to other people is their own conscious, that the guilt feeling that they have inside. So the danger to me, Doc, is if we go in there and call it authenticity and let go of the guilt, then we might really opening the gates of hell, and the person, I might give myself permission to do things that before then I might have stopped myself from. Come on, don't do this, it's not fair. But is there a danger there? Are we paying attention to how much of that we call it authentic and remove the system that was put in place maybe for a reason?
Great question. I love it. Okay, a few answers to that.
Please.
First of all, a person who would be like a bad seed or genuinely just a bad person, most likely won't come to the healing arts, right? It's just someone that's not going to be drawn to something like breath work, because they don't want to get better, okay? But let's just say someone who's done something really bad feels the guilt, and the guilt is keeping them from doing it, okay? That, to me, says that they still haven't resolved it, that their way of addressing it is by self-shame and self-condemning, right? I don't believe that that is a resolution. That's someone who's probably going to dabble a lot with self-medicating, and because they haven't resolved that subconscious pattern, it's going to come out in other ways. Yeah. It's not going to go away. So guilt is a way to control it. It's not a way to resolve it. This is getting past trying to control it. This is walking away from it, moving away from that identity, because everybody deserves forgiveness.
Absolutely.
Even if we've done heinous crimes, we're not allowed to judge ourselves. There's only one true judge out there, and that's whoever created us or whatever created us. And so it's not our job or our responsibility to decide what a person's personal journey looks like, right? But it is our responsibility to not take it out on others, okay?
Exactly.
And so if guilt is a way that someone is trying not to take it out on others, truth be told, they still are. They still are. It's coming out in other ways, passive-aggressive ways, other transgressive ways. It's human nature. And you need to free yourself from that shadow. Why I love breath work is that it will not let you go past your readiness. That's the big difference between breath work and psychedelics, because breath work will give you the same altered states of mind that psychedelics will.
Wow.
The difference is because you are controlling with your breath, you are fully in control of the process.
Wow, yeah.
So you will not go past your readiness. You will not, because you're fully conscious and sober throughout the entire process.